3 months into the family merger, my husband and name only slapped a sheet of paper onto the table. I assumed it was a divorce settlement, but the moment my eyes skimmed the heading my pupils shrank. The towering brute of a man was somehow pregnant. 4 months later I was parked on the sofa hand-feeding him grapes when Riverdale called. He thumbed the speaker on, set the phone on the cushion, and cooed that cell radiation might hurt the fetus. Before I could gag, Nurse's voice floated out, "Terribly sorry, Sterling, our error. Your labs were swapped with a pregnant patient's. The symptoms are stress-related." Translation: I'd been waiting on him like a serf for nothing. I opened my mouth to curse and threw up all over his shirt. House call arrived, beamed, and said, "Congratulations, Sterling, you're expecting." "One Adelaide, the family firm is hemorrhaging cash. We're almost insolvent," Charles said, arranging his face into tragic lines. "Bennett will inject capital if we merge bloodlines." "I'm sorry, sweetheart. No need. Divorce Mom and marry him yourself. Honestly, you've always wanted to be the power behind the Sterling throne, way more glamorous than the anonymous Vance figurehead." I spread my hands, proud of my genius workaround. "You're welcome, Dad. I should have stayed on campus. Nothing good ever comes from answering a summons home. My ride alone cost me $12 I'd never see again." "Wha? Adelaide, how dare you speak to your father like that? Look how you've upset him." Evelyn rubbed Charles's back, shooting me the usual disappointed mom stare. For a second my shoulders sagged. Compared with Charles's full-time misogyny, she was Mother Teresa until Leo or Morgan entered the chat. "One dessert in the house? Leo's a boy, he'll carry the line." Interrupt Dad, get belted, and she'd cry, "Just apologize, he's the head of the household." Once I snapped, "Congrats on the dick, must be magical. I can buy one bigger and rechargeable. Want me to slap it on and make you call me daddy?" Evelyn clutched her pearls, speechless. I tucked the toy into her palm. "Keep it, you coy relic, daddy's feeling generous." She quit the lectures after that, which was bliss. Evidently nostalgia had kicked in. "Mom, you adore Dad, save his life's work. Mary Bennett, pop out the boy toy you always wanted." I grinned, waiting for fireworks. Out crazying them was cheaper than therapy. Evelyn froze, tears sparkling her achieved. "Little sister, unfilial much? After everything our parents sacrificed?" Morgan jabbed a finger at my nose. "Point at me again and I'll fold that digit into origami." I bent it back, his shriek was oddly satisfying. "See? You asked for it, sunshine. And you've lived here longer, age before beauty, Big Brother glares could ignite steel, time to bolt. Outnumbered fights seldom end well." Charles's voice cracked like a whip. 30 million. Sign today and I'll wire it right now. $30 million? I rescind every prior refusal. Money is innocent, abandoning it would be criminal. I'd marry 10 times for that haul. "Daddy, when do I walk down the aisle?" I simpered, batting lashes I didn't have. I'd never seen that many zeros. Grandma Vance, bless her cruel heart, preached that girls must be starved or they grow ambitions. While the rest feasted, I got boiled kale and white rice, still hungry, still scolded. One night I ghosted into her room in a nightgown and wielded a cleaver, whispering, "Hold still, I'm deciding which cut sautés best." She wet the mattress. The next morning my plate held bacon. Conclusion: masochists respect only bigger monsters. Vance money flowed everywhere except toward me. At 16 I punted Dad into a marble bust and snapped 3 of his ribs. He repaid me by yanking my $1,000 a month allowance. Psychological damages, people. Starving students shouldn't have to eat dirt, but I'd feared an involuntary psych hold, otherwise I'd have raised the manor. Basically, I lost both a punching bag and a trust fund. Tragic. From this day forward, I'm Lydia Bennett turned Cinderella. I can order one drink, pour another down the drain, and I never again have to wait for a Thursday to splurge on KFC. When I imagine the good life speeding toward me, I feel nothing but gratitude toward my golden thino, my gold daddy. Be at Cloud Cafe tomorrow at 8 sharp, where I'll report you for fraud. Charles spun on his heel and stalked back to the bedroom. Now I understood why he wasn't afraid I'd run off with the cash. Dad, you're brilliant. How exactly did you steer our company straight into bankruptcy? A gentleman settles scores. While he still needed me, I poked at the riddle that had bugged me for years. Charles lurched. I almost heard his molar crack. Such a shame. Following the single most penetrating get out ever shouted, I was swept out like dust. Staring at the door he'd slammed, I pretended to be heartbroken I hadn't finished messing with him yet. I hailed a cab back to campus in style. The fare ran a couple of $100, a trip I used to survive by transferring between buses for hours. Today I finally sampled the silky ride of a lifetime. The world was gorgeous, the sun dazzling, the sky absurdly blue, and I, the fattest of cats, all alone with my money. Hee hee. Lunch is on me today. Let's blow cash at Hai Di Lao. No need to loiter until the midnight discount kicks in. I pinged the dorm WhatsApp group. Little blanket, you hit the jackpot? You hit the jackpot? All 5 of them typed the same question. I smirked. Yeah, overnight fortune is real. I'm suddenly filthy rich, and tonight every last dumpling is courtesy of President Celeste. President Celeste, remember us little people when you're famous. Venmo me $500 to prove it. I watched my mini red pockets disappear in seconds. Lightning fingers. After hot pot, I bowed out early and went back to sleep, setting a dozen alarms first. A college student can even get extra credit for matrimony. If my new husband tries anything, he'll taste my iron fist of love or trend on Twitter. Money's in my pocket now. I chase, it flees, but those wings are clipped. I drifted off grinning like a lunatic. To Gold Daddy, good morning, Sterling. I slipped when I saw the refined man in glasses. His mouth twitched. Sorry, I'm Sterling's assistant. Call me Hugh. The boss was tied up, so he sent me. The prenup's on the table, take a look. If everything's fine, you can sign. 1. Pretend to be lovebirds in public, especially in front of his family. 2. No monkey business violating marital law, including but not limited to intimate relationships with third parties. 3. Monthly allowance of $1 million to the bride. What kind of fairy tale contract is this? I'm crazy about it. I grabbed the pen and wrote Celeste in neat script. Hugh, when do I get to marry my sweet groom, please? 1 day sooner is $30,000 plus extra. Sterling will send a car for you at 8 tomorrow, Cameron said politely, then climbed back into his sedan. This cafe's miniature desserts are to die for. I sighed over each adorable bite. Back when I was broke, the fancy decor intimidated me. I half expected to be conscripted to wash dishes. Now I learn the prices are actually sane. I tapped a top realtor. It's time to buy real estate. Cars, cash, condos, every pauper's dream, and this salted fish has officially flipped. Next morning I compared the license plate Hugh texted me to the whale of a limo idling at the curb 3 times. I yanked open the rear door, slid inside, and flopped back. I never ride shotgun. In a crash it's the death seat. If I croak, my little money pile would pine away, lonely and cold. Something rock hard was beneath me. Turns out the back seat came with a passenger. I'd just plunked myself on Bennett's lap, chest to chest. I instantly fossilized. Vance, could you vacate my legs? We're about to move, you might bang your head like that, a low voice rumbled. I probably glowed crimson, my cheeks felt volcanic. God, anyone got a hole I can crawl into? Silence became our own private Cambridge. I bolted upright, smack metal roof met skull. I plastered myself against the window. Vance, I'm Bennett. In public you may call me Silas, he said, sensing my mortification. Gold Daddy, hi, I am Celeste. In public you can call me your giant offspring. Watching his stunned blink, I finally registered what had flown out of my mouth. Last night's million a month math had fried my CPU. I was now a walking blue screen. Whatever if I'm not embarrassed, embarrassment belongs to everyone else. With skin this thick, the world is butter. At the license desk photo he parked himself miles away. Clerk, you two shy newlyweds scooch closer. We stood simultaneously. I crashed into him, and he toppled to the carpet, eyes vacant. wondering how gravity worked. "Honey, you okay?" I offered a hand, masking my crime. Under the contract we moved into a villa. Gilded ceilings, masterpieces, antiques. Heck, the bathroom is bigger and fancier than my dorm. I lamented, why, oh why, can't this evil capitalist be me? Envy drool threatened to short-circuit my chin. "Chen, your cooking smells like heaven on a platter," I sing-songed, clattering downstairs with plates. "Slow down, Sterling," Chen laughed. "She's gentle, motherly, and lethal with a ladle." Bennett never wastes words of praise. I, however, shower every female within earshot with genuine sugar. Compared to Chen's feasts, my university cafeteria served pig slop. Which chef doesn't like diners praising his cooking? So every dish I love kept reappearing on the table. After checking with Bennett, I started delivering meals to the Sterling office on a schedule to flaunt our affection. Hell cooked by Chen, so it cost me nothing. When my sugar daddy saw how well I performed, he would tip me from time to time. I really am a little money-making prodigy. 3 months later we got married at the ancestral manor. It was a traditional Chinese ceremony. The phoenix crown, hairpins, and earrings I wore that day were worth almost 100 million. Wah, damn the rich. I'm not envious, not at all. Bennett wore the embroidered wedding robe, every stitch outlining his powerful frame, especially the chest. I couldn't help thinking he wasn't really suited to a Chinese wedding. With those pecs the robe looked obscene, like Earth's hottest wet nurse. At the sight I had to bite my cheeks to keep from laughing. My eyes curved, tears of mirth sparkling. "What's wrong?" Bennett's chiseled face shot close, I could feel his breath. "Hubby, you look so hot in that outfit I could drop to my knees and sing I Surrender. Hot enough to punch through the sky." This time I lost it and burst out laughing. "Sir and Madam are so in love, a match made in heaven," Makeup praised. I turned to chat with Makeup and missed the blush that spread across Bennett's face as his gaze followed me. After the ceremony, business partners and rivals from Riverside crowded around to toast Bennett. Cameron was the most persistent. One glass after another until he could barely stand. A loving wife can't watch her swaying husband like a spectator, so I quit rubbernecking and rushed to rescue him and ended up trashed myself. Whose husband is the most gorgeous, richest hunk alive? Celeste's #1 in the universe, husband Bennett. Even drunk I kept sprinkling PDA, praying my goldmine daddy would renew my contract. Who hates money? I woke to find us both naked in bed. I was tiptoeing into my clothes when the jerk opened his eyes and stared like I was a highway bandit. He wrapped the quilt around himself, crouched at the foot of the bed, and wailed that his innocence was gone, 2 perfect tears rolling down. I had to slink into my jeans first. He kept shrinking into the corner, crying, so I tried to comfort him. "My head hurts, but nothing else aches. We probably didn't cross any lines." He looked at me like I was the scum of the earth and croaked, "Everything aches. Look at the bite mark you left on my shoulder, you body-snatching witch. You ruined me and won't take responsibility." Had I really lost control, ravished a defenseless man, and heartlessly stolen his first time? "Bennett, it's all my fault, please stop crying, okay? Let's talk about how to handle this." He gazed at me, full of resentment. "Women, once you get what you want you stop caring. On our wedding night you suddenly groped me, molesting my pecs. After you took my virginity you started ignoring me, even freezing me out." More tears fell. He looked like a rag doll I'd shredded, eyes red and swollen. I had to own my crime and shoulder the responsibility of a decent woman. What the hell? All because I'd let liquor hijack my libido, nearly cost me my life. Later, over lunch, Bennett caught a whiff of fish and bolted to the bathroom, hand clamped over his mouth, dry heaving. When he stopped, he stalked out black-faced. I meant to follow, but the table was too tempting. I ran back, snatched a pancake, and chased the car with it between my teeth. By then the car was gone, exhaust the only thing left. Fine food first. The spread was perfect, I couldn't abandon it. House call ran the tests. Bennett was 12 weeks pregnant. His chest had felt tight, nausea constant. Today the fish scent had floored him. Classic symptoms. He remembered the time he saw Celeste. She'd been brawling with Charles. Battered and blue, she'd still grinned as she kicked her downed father in the groin. The image was seared into his brain. For weeks afterward he woke from dreams of Celeste's foot heading south. Later he learned Charles had attacked Evelyn while drunk. Celeste defended her mother. Nothing disgusted Bennett more than wife beaters, so he admired Celeste. When Charles's company wobbled, he proposed the merger marriage, and before long Celeste had robbed him of his chastity. A few hours later Bennett marched into the living room and slapped a sheet of paper in front of me. I braced for divorce documents, but the name read Bennett, diagnosis, 3 months pregnant. My pupil's contracted ID knocked him up. He'd bawl forever. What's with that face? I'm pregnant and you're unhappy? You don't love our little love token? Bennett fired at me. I'm so happy I can't believe it, I lied, inwardly sobbing that I was officially doomed. I leaned in and kissed his eyelid. A sweetheart like you, how could I not love? Bennett was actually great, a cute little tsundere now in my eyes. One kiss, one sweet line, and his tail wagged, a big wolf dog who's easy to bribe. I hadn't dared voice my real thoughts because, the night before the wedding, Bennett's sister paid me a friendly visit. If you break his heart, I'll dump you in the ocean for sharks. Vance knows I have the reach, right? She smiled, but her aura was murderous. I nodded like a pecking chick until her expression thawed and she bestowed one chilling grin. After that, she showered me with every imaginable luxury gift. My big sister really knew what she was doing, smack me with a stick, then hand me a candied date. I was successfully PUA'd. Getting wasted and sleeping together damn near took my dog life. I hadn't enjoyed a single second, yet I was stuck cleaning up the mess. A pregnant woman's emotions are hypersensitive and need tender care. Presumably a pregnant husband is the same. Bennett's temper had turned downright delicate these days. Afraid the others might see his future baby bulge, Bennett gave the entire villa staff a vacation, so only the 2 of us remained. 3 meals a day landed on my cooking skills. My food could at best be described as won't kill you, yet he'd rather choke that down than let anyone deliver. I could only dream of my lost banquets. I was rinsing vegetables when Bennett hugged me from behind and started dropping kisses on my face, my neck. Hubby, stop it, I've still got to cook. I've already ordered 3 catered meals. I can't bear to watch you slave over a stove. How could anyone be this adorable? I loved it. Wifey, why'd you stop kissing me? He looped his arms around my waist and pouted. With iron will I resisted. Honey, you're expecting, we shouldn't overindulge. Sweetheart, don't you know you can have sex after the first trimester? Amusement and love sparkled in his eyes. Voice husky, he begged, love me, wifey please? Who could resist? Certainly not me. Behind one closed door, delirious absurdity bloomed. When I'm huge I'll look awful. You're already sick of me, aren't you? Imagine later. Bennett watched me swipe through pretty girl streams and sulked. My husband is drop-dead gorgeous, outshines the moon. I'm deleting these apps right now. Goodbye, my beautiful ladies forever. I killed the software for his smile. If you can't bear it, keep them, he murmured. Cut the act, I saw that grin. Short clips waste time. I was uninstalling anyway. My heart bled, but my mouth stayed stubborn. Fine if it made him happy, no big loss. Marriage is give and take. When Bennett left for the office in a tailored suit, I chose his tie, he picked my outfit so we matched. While he worked, I sketched or read or scrolled videos, and every so often he swept me up for a cuddle. We grew inseparable. Curled together watching a movie, I popped grapes into his mouth, he peeled mandarins for me. The phone rang. Riverdale. He answered on speaker, then set the handset far away, whispering, radiation, our baby, and coyly placed my hand on his belly. A sweet female voice, we're terribly sorry, Sterling. A clerical error swapped your results with an expectant mother's. Your symptoms are stress-related. Men don't get pregnant, clearly our equipment misled you. We sincerely apologize. Bennett and I gawked at each other. He wasn't pregnant, which meant he'd lorded a fake bump over me for months. One wrong move and he'd stroke his belly, cooing, "Poor child, mommy rejects us." I opened my mouth to scold, then hurled all over him. Wait, if he couldn't conceive, maybe I already had. Bennett called house call, changed his shirt, and crept back. I honestly thought I was, love. I'm sorry. My anger dissolved. He looked too pitiful, too cute. In love, would I punish him for someone else's mistake? I'm not mad, couldn't be. Old school arrived, felt my pulse, and beamed. Congratulations, Sterling, about 3 months along. Congrats to us, Bennett babbled, grinning like a fool. The doctor's smile froze. At his age he should be a granddad, not a new dad. Vacationing staff returned early. Bennett pressed his ear to my belly, listening for kicks, tenderness written across his face. Silas, boy or girl? I asked. Either, both, whatever you give me, he answered instantly. Months 7 and 8, my belly ballooned, I peed constantly, ankles swelled, midnight leg cramps jolted me awake. Bennett massaged my calves, washed my feet. Watching him knead so carefully, I felt heat flood my chest. Thank heaven it's you who taught me to believe in love. Labor was fast, one push into the OR and out. A nurse wheeled a bassinet past, my eyes lit. Nurse, I'll take the middle one. Nurse, why grab the left? That's the ugliest. Bennett nodded in agreement. Nurse rolled her eyes. This isn't a produce aisle. The ugliest is yours. I fumbled the infant into my arms. He really was homely, a hairless monkey. But the longer I looked, the cuter his brand of ugly became. Half an hour later I unhooked my bra for his first nursing session. Bennett blushed crimson watching. From that day, parenting chaos reigned. I coped. Bennett was afraid to hold Archer, going rigid the instant he tried. Such tiny limbs breakable. Months later, Archer filled out, soft and milky sweet. Bennett took over while I prepped my thesis defense. Yes, I passed. I flung my arms around Bennett and cheered. Even though I no longer had to grind through a 9 to 5, finishing the university I'd fought so hard to get into felt thrilling. Being able to close that chapter properly meant everything. Archer, Papa Dash, I quickly rescued our poor Archer. Honey, take us on a tour of your campus. I want to share this part of your life. Bennett brushed the stray hairs from my forehead with a gentle motion. My college years really weren't anything special. I drifted through the first few, just making sure I didn't flunk. There aren't any famous landmarks around, either. I honestly couldn't recall a single breathtaking view. We don't need picture-perfect scenery. I just regret not stepping into your life sooner. His gaze was deep, steady. We have decades ahead, the rest of our story is still blank, waiting for us to write it together. I hugged him until Archer's wail finally broke the spell. I patted his diaper with practiced ease and whisked him into a fresh one. When can Archer start school so we can get our couple time back? Bennett muttered, half sulking. Then he looked down at the adorable bundle in his arms and beamed. As soon as he turns 3, we can ship him off to preschool. By then you'll be the one missing him. I was sure he'd soften the minute Archer waved goodbye. I lifted Archer into my arms. He'd gotten heavy, and holding him too long turns them to jelly. We haul him to the ancestral manor all the time so the elders can dote on their grandson. It's absolutely not because he's a portable spotlight killing our date nights. Bennett and I have saved every last one of Archer's blackmail photos, the puffy newborn face, the shot of his foot in his mouth right after it landed in poop, the one of him squeezed into a baby tutu. If puberty ever makes him rebellious, those pics go public. 6 Bennett showed up today in a tailored suit, hands clasped behind his back, and I knew something was up. Happy Valentine's Day, sweetheart. Sure enough, he produced a lavish armful of roses. We used to ignore gimmicky holidays, but love has made us gushy. Our affection still rides the wind, fiercer than ever. Now we celebrate every excuse on the calendar. The mythical 7-year itch? We just blinked and said, wait, we've been married 8 years already? We were locked in a kiss when a squeaky voice piped up. Daddy, Mommy, I want smooch too. Archer bounced like a firecracker. Bennett and I each pecked a chubby cheek. I once sighed to Bennett, who knows whose DNA this is. Flattery rolls off his tongue. First week of kindergarten and he's got teachers wrapped around his finger. By 5 he's bribing little girlfriends with gifts. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Bennett shot me a look. Takes after someone silver-tongued, obviously. And that eye for pretty girls? That's your legacy. I wrapped my arms around him. He remembers my sins too well. I quit window shopping ages ago. I only have eyes for my handsome husband. You're the only one I've ever loved. Archer, on the other hand, swaps crushes faster than TV channels any cute girl will do. Bennett's answering smile was soft and smug. Topic closed. Yay, case dismissed. Archer gave us migraines at 8 by dating several girls at once. Bennett lectured him. Archer stunned us with, my heart just split equal pieces for each. What's wrong with that? Before we could rewire his worldview, he came home bawling, I'm done with girlfriends forever. We were floored. Ladies man, swearing off romance? Sniffling, he explained, his girlfriends had somehow discovered one another, lured him to the woods behind school, and beaten him up. Bennett and I exchanged a grin. He soothed Archer while I dabbed on antiseptic, biting my lip so I wouldn't laugh. That beating did Archer a solid. At least we won't have to worry about him juggling lovers later. Parenthood exhausting. I exhaled. Night, and just as Bennett and I were drifting off, Archer erupted from the blankets. Daddy, Mommy, I'm sleeping in the middle. No girlfriend love, but tons of mommy-daddy love. Veins throbbed in Bennett's forehead. He almost offered the kid a live demonstration of how we made him. Fine, center spot, but say goodbye to allowance. Kid, I invented this game. Good night, dearest parents, sweet dreams, I'll miss you. The syrupy baby talk cracked us up. 7-inch where to this time, sweetheart? Bennett flipped through travel brochures, torn. I smiled. The view's optional, the company's not, and pulled him close. You're the finest scenery I'll ever have and I never get tired of the sight. He nuzzled me. Life's good with you, baby. We clasped hands in our reckless youth and never let go, black hair slowly silvering. 40+ springs and autumns later, watching friends part, reunite, fall ill, or pass on, we cherish what we have even more. The day after Archer turned 20 we fled, dumping the company in his lap. Money's infinite, time isn't. We set off to taste every mountain and river, every hometown dish. Raising him for 2 decades time to collect our ROI. Archer feigns outrage, which CEO retires at 40-something, yet bankrolls our wanderings, begging only that we remember the lonely air left behind. When he was 18 we pranked him with Bennett's old misdiagnosis, claiming sterling men are built different and that Bennett had carried him for 10 months. From that day he dodged females like germs. I'm too handsome, he reasoned. What if they're overcome with passion and steal my virtue? We fessed up. He refused to believe until, on finally getting a real girlfriend, he protected his belly and wailed, I'm pregnant, marry me and take responsibility. The hijinks that followed defied belief. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked it, like and share with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more tales. See you next episode.